Hey, everybody. Welcome to Brave Makers live chat during Shelter in Place. My name is Tony Gapistone, and what a ride it is as we are entering the mid-30s of Shelter in Place, day 36, day 37. I do not know what day it is. I think it's April 20-something. Who can tell me? I'm looking look at my phone, April 22nd. There we go. I did try to cut my hair in it didn't go so great. Don't have any fading skills, but what can you do? So every week we have been having live chats with Brave Makers. If you're new to our community or just kind of stumbled upon us through our special guests, Brave Maker is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We exist to elevate brave voices. We are all about sharing stories that move us, that make us think beyond ourselves. We love to inspire empathetic conversations to connect people across divides. We have a film fest every year, and we do monthly film screenings that also partner with creatives of all kinds, whether they be dancers or photographers, actors, designers, and in this case, a very creative, interactive documentarian. So I'm really excited that we get to have special guests today. I'm going to be inviting the maker, creator, director, cinematographer of what's called Life Underground. So if you're just checking this out, go to their website right now. We're going to talk about their project. His name is Hervé Cohen. Welcome to the broadcast, Hervé.
Hi, Tony.
Hello.
Very nice to be. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Yeah, you sound great.
Yeah, I am in Paris right now, and it's 8 p.m. and everybody's clapping like we do every night. So I don't know if you hear the background, but that's the moment where everybody's clapping. You know, the healthcare people, and it's a ritual now.
That's fantastic. Right on. I love that we can be international. That's kind of the gold lining, I keep calling it, to this pandemic, is that because we can't be doing our public gatherings, we're able to meet people virtually like this. So really cool that we can have you all the way from France. And I'm also going to welcome from California, Aftab Hafeez, who is the associate producer of Life Underground. Welcome, Aftab.
Thank you for having me, Tony.
Yeah, and we're connected, Aftab, because he is a volunteer in Brave Maker, but is also a composer on one of our fiscally sponsored projects called Medina Papel, and then a project that I'm also directing called Piccolo. So cool. All right, so hey, let's jump in and let's talk a little bit. I mean, this is a really amazing project, especially right now during Shelter in Place. I was kind of like thinking last night, like how perfect of a time that we would have I keep calling it a choose your own adventure in a way, of stories, a documentary, interactive documentary that people could click on this website and find their ways underground in the subways. Although I kind of get a little bit of the heebie-jeebies when I see people holding all of the bars and stuff. But it's really beautiful about like all these stories, and you can click on people, or you can click through themes, or you can click on geographical locations. So how in the world did this start? And I imagine it's been like it's a life's work for you. So let's hear about how it started, Hervé.
It really comes from a fantasy, like looking at people in subways wherever I travel in the world and being intrigued and curious, and sometimes really having this urge to talk to people and to ask them, who are you? What's your story? Can you tell me about yourself? I mean, I'm interested, I'm curious, but of course I never do it. So until one day I was like, maybe I should make a film about that. That'd be cool, and that would allow me to really approach people and say, hey, this is the film that I'm making. So would you agree to be part of it? And so that's the base, you know, like traveling around the world. When I travel, I take subways when there's a subway, because I want to feel the city, to look at people, to feel the pulse and the mood of a city, how they dress, how they walk, and just look at them. And so this project is international because it's like I travel. It's my dream come true. Like I travel, I take subways, and I talk to people, and they talk to me more than that. Yeah, I listen to people more than I talk to people, and they confide in me these incredible stories of who they are, and yeah. So it's a amazing human adventure.
One thing that really struck me was watching it is the incredible diversity. I mean, not only of people, right, but of places, of fashion. You know, like I really like. It's an inspiring. It's a work of art, man. It's a documentary. It's interactive, but it's also artistic. So, talk about how long. I mean, this thing must have taken you a long time to do, but how do you get permissions to
Mhm.
film and all the people stories and finding them? Talk about that whole process.
So to get this project started, we approached an organization that is like a union for public transportation all around the world. They advocate for public transportation, and they gather all these subways together, like to share best practices, etc. So I approached them. I said, so this is what I have in mind. This is the project that I have in mind. Uh, and then the general secretary of this organization told me, this is the perfect project to promote public transportation. So for him, that was this goal. His goal was promotion of humanity in public transportation. So he helped us reach out to subways in around the world, and he told them, it'd be good to participate, and more than that, if you could help fund it, it would benefit everybody, because it's like a marketing tool for public transportation. So that's how we got like so many subways around the world come on board. And so then we of course had the authorizations, and we had like a permit to shoot.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
And so that's how it got started, really, because thanks to this organization that was able to see the benefit for promoting public transportation advocacy, and it's an advocacy for subways, and finding humanity in subways and focusing on the people.
Well, let me just say, first of all, as an artist, that's extremely entrepreneurial. Sometimes as creative people, we don't necessarily think about the business side or the marketing side. So those of you who are watching, how can you take your project and think about connecting it with another organization that would then fund it and partner with you and help promote it? And that's just really brilliant. I'm working on a film right now about mental health and suicide prevention. And I'm trying to partner and link hands. It's like, that's how we have to think. We have to think like that. So really, like, I can't even give you enough kudos on that. That's extremely, extremely smart. Aftab, talk about how you got involved.
Yeah, so originally I met Hervé maybe almost 2 years ago or so, and we just hit it off as for our interests and ambitions linguistically. And so then more recently, well, I've known about Life Underground for a while, ever since basically I met Hervé. And up till more recently, then we talked about, hey, growing it and seeing maybe what I could do to help in any way. And it seemed that it'd be most suitable to reach out to help raise funds for expanding and shooting in different cities. But yeah, so that's what my role is right now, is helping in the outreach, fundraising. I'm the associate producer of Life Underground. And yeah, so that's really how we connected and started, or how I started working on Life Underground.
Cool. Well, thanks for sharing. Yeah, we found Hervé because of you, Aftab. So thanks for connecting us. So let's get back to the development of these stories, Hervé, and then have you share a little bit of a tutorial on how people can actually use what you've created here. So tell us about how you got the stories, maybe highlight some of the stories, and then share about how people use your sites.
Sure. So for me, I wanted to recreate my genuine experience when I travel the subway and when I look at people and I'm intrigued. So I was like, I'm not going to do a casting. It's going to be like random encounters, as if, like as if I were on the subway regularly without a camera, like I do usually. I look at people and I have this, this desire, and I'm intrigued by someone. So I want it to be true to that, So when I approach people, it's because I have an intuition. I have this urge to talk to someone and to get a connection. So then that's what we do. I always have a local assistant wherever I travel. So 18 cities so far around the world. So it's a assistant, translator, also sound recorder. So we identify someone. We're like, okay, I think I'd love to talk to that person, and then we approach the person, and the way we do it is we want to be very to be transparent, to be like invisible on subways. So I have a DSLR, and my assistant has a Zoom recorder, so no boom mic or no extra gear. So we're like even like tourists. So it's not too impressive. It's people can easily forget about us. And then so we film the passengers silently. We are not engaging in a conversation while riding the subway. What we do is, like, after they exit the subway, we take a moment with them. We find a quiet place, and then when they deliver the story, it's on audio with an audio recording. It's not on camera. So I think that's the magic of the project is because I don't have a camera when I talk to them, and when we exchange, when they confide in me very personal, intimate stories, it's because I don't have a camera in front of them. I record their voice. And a voice recording can be very, very intimate. We can feel the emotion. We can feel it's very genuine. It's very real. And so then it becomes a voiceover. When we see the passengers traveling, it's as if we were listening to their interior thoughts, interior monologues, and it's actually really recreating the experience when we are on the subway. And sometimes we make up stories. We look at someone and we're like, oh, maybe she has a bouquet of flower in her hand. Maybe she's gonna see her dad that she hasn't met for such a long time, and maybe reconnecting, or you make up things. And so this time, we by the web documentary, you click on the name of a passenger, and then you unlock the passenger story. You do this journey with this passenger, and you discover a story that would be sometimes it's very surprising. So it's I remember in Los Angeles, for example, there was like a transgender woman, African-American transgender woman. And so I approached her, and she was like very enthusiastic about the idea of being filmed. So when I film people, I don't know anything about their story. I just film them. I ask them if they want to be filmed. I film them. Then I discover during the recording who they are really. And it turns out this woman just had her official papers stating her real name, like as a woman. And she was really elated and so emotional that she actually was a woman. And that was the very day that she had her papers. She could change her driver's license, etc. And then she was able to tell me about her story and her journey becoming a woman. So that was very moving.
It's so moving and inspiring. I think this is just a great example of the power of stories, right? So Brave Maker is all about brave stories, how they can impact us and change us and help us see people. Visibility. One of my past guests who started the Beyonce Mass, Reverend Yolanda Norton, she said that visibility is sacred. She also is elevating women and transgender women, and she talked about when people feel seen, it's spiritual.
Yeah.
And if you're just joining, my name is Tony Gapistone, and I founded Brave Maker. We exist to elevate brave stories for justice, diversity, and inclusion. I'm talking with Hervé Cohen and Aftab Hafeez about Life Underground. If you have not checked it out, please go to their website right now, lifeunderground.com. These stories are all, it's like people watching to the nth degree. It's extreme people watching. I think everybody knows what it feels like to go into a public place and just look and wonder and maybe even imagine what people's stories are. And my wife and I often talk about how people, even in different parts of the world, look like other people we've seen, and we find ways to connect because of the way somebody looks. But you're going, hey, I see you, I'm filming you, then you pull them aside and start getting deep into their story. I have a comment from Robertino, who's one of our Brave Maker leaders, says, great project, great job, innovative, insightful, and interesting. Will you be adding more people in various countries in the project? And also, how did you select your subject? You kind of already talked about that. Maybe you could talk about, will you be adding more, but also maybe highlight some more stories that we can go check out and then give us some.
Yeah. So so now I have 18 cities around the world, and each subway that participated in the project, each one was able to chip in financially to give money to the project so we can fund it. But there are some subways in other parts of the world that are not like as well represented. For example, the Middle East, or some other location in Latin America, or in India, or in Eastern, Western Asia, for example, Western Asian countries. These countries that I also North Africa, even Africa. They are not able. Some of them are not able to give money to the project. But they said Buenos Aires, for example, in Argentina. I talked to the CEO, and they are like in a very difficult situation financially, but they love the project. They would want to take part. But so it's up to us to find money to raise funds, and that's why I'm working with the Aftab to find funders to help us add more cities, maybe cities that are less represented than all the European cities that I have already, or Asian cities. So that's our goal. It's really to find other cities through more funding.
Cool. Well, before we look at the tutorial, Aftab, why don't you share a little bit about that? If people wanted to fund it, what would it look like? How do they connect? What could they do?
But yeah, you can reach out to either myself or Hervé if you're interested in contributing to the project. Of course, this year's goal was to, before the virus, collect funds to shoot in 4 additional cities. But of course, with the pandemic, our goals have had to pivot a little bit. But yeah, if you're interested in the project, then definitely reach out to myself or Hervé. And then we can talk further, and we can also send you a pamphlet of a bit more about the background and how we would work together to use the funds to continue shooting. So definitely reach out to us.
Fantastic.
So yeah, we were about actually to secure other cities, other funding for cities this year, but everything stopped. So fundraising, connection with cities stopped. There is also something else I wanted to mention. I don't know how long I have, but this project became also an installation for museums, and this in a very exciting part. So Life Underground was invited in a few different places: the National Museum of Singapore, the Los Angeles Metro, South by Southwest. Recently, at the National Museum of Singapore, we created an immersive installation. So we gathered all the stories, and we they were like all over like a big wall of screens, and with the soundscape, it was really immersive. So people were really like living it, and also connecting with passengers emotionally too. And this is the innovative part of Life Underground. From a web documentary, it became this installation, and it's another experience than just watching it just from a computer, but in a public space with other people in a dark room, and really feeling the space of the subways all around the world. It's extremely powerful. So we really want to continue doing that too in the Bay Area or in anywhere else in the United States or other countries. This is our goal too, really, that we cherish a lot.
Hervé, do you want to share the trailer or do you want to do the tutorial? You got some time.
Yeah, we could share the trailer, and then
Okay, cool.
yeah, or it's either or
We could do both.
Yeah,
No, which one do you want to do first?
Yeah, maybe the trailer first.
Okay, cool. You want me to share it?
Sure.
All right, cool. Let's do the trailer. Here we go. Stand by as I go into producer mode here.
We could
This is the
listen
fun.
to the sound.
Yeah. We'll make sure we have the sound and
Okay, great.
give me a wave if for whatever reason things are not working in that way. Okay. Here we go.
Je rentre tout juste, je faisais une échographie. J'ai découvert il y a quelques jours que j'étais enceinte. C'est une très bonne nouvelle parce qu'on est fertile, mais je me trouve, enfin, c'est trop jeune.
أنا جيت مع اللاجئين من تركيا واليونان. جيت مرقت بكل الدول لحالي، يعني ما في حدا معي. كنت تحت 18.
美しく華やかに、ただ年を取るんじゃなくて、どういうふうにして社会に貢献できるか、そのためには。
Fui mamá joven, fui mamá adolescente. Tengo 3 hijos y yo quiero que sean mucho más que yo. Quiero que me superen en forma de ser y en educación.
我諗我火爆嘅性格唔多唔少都係遺傳咗我爸爸嘅。我自己嘅性格其實有時都有啲火爆嘅，都比較容易發嬲嘅。我其實有啲擔心，到底自己可唔可以喺未來幾年遇到一個肯去容忍我呢啲比較火爆嘅性格嘅女仔咧。
Ça, c'était mon grand gamin, que malheureusement, je n'ai pas pu suivre. C'était mon grand chagrin. J'y pense souvent. Oui.
So well done. So well done. Again, just emphasizing, if you're just joining us, I'm Tony Gapistone with Bravemaker. We're talking with Hervé Cohen, who's the creator and the writer-director of Life Underground, associate producer, Aftab Hafeez. And this, hold on. This interactive documentary, trying to squeeze back into our brains here, is available at Life-Underground. And man, it really is something special. Like I already mentioned, the diversity of people and the geographical places, the fashion, but also you've got the sounds and the music. I mean, and whoever edited this and designed your website and also translated, I mean, what like an amazing crew of people that you've put together.
It's the website is translated into 11 languages. I really want to make sure wherever I go, so I went to Helsinki in Finland. So I said, so if I go film there, I want the people from Finland to understand everything. So I translate all the stories from the other places of the world into Finnish, and the website, the platform, the interface, everything is in Finnish. And the same thing for 18 countries around the world. So 11 languages total for now. And if we go to to Egypt, for example, it will be translated into Arabic. Everything will be available to watch for the regular people in Egypt. So I think it's so we have a big crew of translators. It's a lot of work. That's why the project, is not cheap, because it's ambitious in this term. I really want to have it available all around the world. What was the other question?
I think you already addressed it. Let's chat about your tutorial. Show us how people can navigate the site.
Yeah. So let me see. Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
While Hervé is doing that, I will put up the Instagram page. So if you are an Insta person, go follow them at Life Underground 2018.
Do you see my screen?
I don't see it yet. No.
Okay. Okay, share.
There we go.
Do you see it?
Yep.
Okay, great. So when you land on the page, you see, oh yeah, I wanted to talk also about the music, because the music that you mentioned is made out of raw sounds of subway. So I work with a musician based in Berkeley, an amazing creative guy. And I said, I am obsessed with rhythm and melodies that I hear when I take subways, and I want to make music from that. And he said, that's exactly my kind of thing. And we both connected, because we were like super excited when we listened to like a washing machine or a dryer, because there's those sounds that really sound like music. And so we were like, okay, let's do something together with these raw sounds of subway. So wherever I went, I gave him the raw sounds, and he created like, I don't know, a lot of tracks, music tracks that play randomly on the platform. So it's very electronic, it's very rhythmic, it's really well done. I really love this aspect of the website. So yeah, so you have this platform, you have all these cities, you see how they're connected, as if we were like there were no borders, and you can travel from Montreal to Singapore if you want. You click on the cities and you can click on play, or you can also choose a theme: love, migration, family, youth. And you can also click on random, which allows you to just, you click on random and just takes wherever you want. You click on start, and then there you go. You don't know where you're going to be. And so for now, you're in Santiago. You have this timeline here, and that shows you where you will be going, and all these cities, random. It's my preference, but, you can also choose. Yeah. And then, so you're here, and the idea is really to feel the pulse of a city, look at people, look around, the same way you do when you're curious and you travel in a foreign country, for example. You look around, and all of a sudden you're intrigued by someone, and you want to know more. And that's exactly what you're going to be experiencing. You have, at one point, you'll come across, Isabel. You want to listen to her story? Yes. You click on her name, and then you continue the travel with Isabel. And then she's going to talk about, her life. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. She was coming back from her job as a cleaning lady. And she talks about how she's really proud of her work. And she doesn't want to be seen like as someone who is in low class. And so she talks about so many things that also talks about Chile right now. she was not able to study when she was when she finished school, because at the time people were not like allowing young girls to go to the university, etc. etc. She was a young mother. She had kids when she was a teenager. There was no abortion at that time, of course. Right now, it's very limited still. So yeah, and then she ends up the story by talking about her daughter, who is waiting for her letter of admission from the University of Santiago, and that's her big, satisfaction about her life, that her daughter will accomplish her dreams, as being able to go to college. So so that's
Hervé,
one.
the thing
Yes.
I like too is you also, once you watch a story, I did this last night, you can share it at the top right of the
Absolutely.
screen.
Yeah, you can share.
Let's share this
Yeah.
trip. So
Yeah.
last night I watched the guy, I forgot his name, the guy in LA with the parrot.
Oh
and,
yeah.
And I clicked share the story, and I can put it on Twitter or Facebook or whatever.
Yes.
This is really cool. I mean, we all know how powerful stories are, and right now we're all locked in. So if you
Absolutely.
want to, I'm not going to say waste, if you want to utilize and have some meaningful interactive time online that will inspire you, and I really think not just inspire, but increase your capacity for compassion,
Empathy.
and
Yes,
empathy,
of course.
and
Yeah,
understanding others.
Absolutely. And so right now, for example, we are in Los Angeles, and we're gonna watch Natalia. Remember, I told you about this African American transgender woman, and that's her. And she really is so moving. And talking about empathy, I mean, people who wouldn't be like, who never met any like transgender woman or transgender people, then just by listening to her story, like, you are in empathy, you can understand, even if you think you're really like at opposite side of the spectrum, and you would never, you think you wouldn't be sensitive, but it's actually really, for me, it's connecting with people that you would never meet otherwise in different parts of the world.
Fantastic. Well, huge kudos to you, Hervé and Aftab. Glad that you met Hervé and are supporting him and helping him to get this project out into the world. I really think this is a perfect Brave Maker example of what we're trying to be about in regards to how people create and what their creations can then go and do in the world. So we will continue to promote what you're doing, and when there's new stories that are coming out, we'll share. So now we have this live video that'll live on Facebook for a while, and we'll also have a YouTube link of the whole story. So I'll send it out to all of our patron subscribers next week. And if you are not on our subscriber list, not only do you get cool things like this in your inbox with what Life Underground is doing, but you also get free movies too, especially during shelter in place. We are sending out links every Monday morning at bravemaker.com/buzz. We'd love you to go there and sign up today. It's free. If you want to support us, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. All of the donations that are made are tax deductible, and great thing is taxes in America aren't due till July 15th. So we appreciate all the support, because we value people like Aftab and Hervé for what they're doing. Any last words before we check out of here today? Anything you two would like to say to our watchers and listeners?
Well, I think if you miss subways right now in this time of you're at home, and if you want to travel and really get into connect with people from all around the world, it's funny, because right now Life Underground is really seen all over the world, without any specific promotion, and it's really great. So maybe because people want to really escape and try to connect in a very intimate way, profound way with other people, regular people all around the world. You can also share the social media. I don't know if you did already. Yeah. This is Instagram, Life Underground 2018. And we're also, of course, on Facebook, Life Underground Project, and we're also on Twitter. But yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, you two.
Thank you for inviting us.
Oh yeah, so good. Thanks for being with us all the way from Paris, France. This is awesome. I love that the world is so interconnected, and maybe right now even more as we're going through this really heinous and traumatic event. I think we feel even more the need to connect, even though we can't touch or high five or handshake. We need these stories because they do something to us. So thanks for highlighting people and humanity. It's beautiful, and all different ethnicities and sexualities and gender identities. It is in socioeconomic places. It's just beautiful and meaningful. So thank you. Yeah, thank you both.
Thank you
Hey,
very much.
thanks for joining us, everybody. My name is Tony Gapistone. If you have any questions or you would like to get more in touch with me, I just welcome you to find my email, tony@bravemaker.com. I'm happy to connect with you if you are like Hervé or Aftab and you have a project that you would like to find some support. If it's right fit for us, we could highlight you here. If you're a filmmaker, we invite you to look at our Facebook, all of our pages. You can find all of our social media handles at bravemaker.com. And if you are a audience member, don't forget we're giving out our movies, thankfully, to our filmmakers who've been selected for free during Shelter in Place. Our online film festival is happening all during quarantine, and then hopefully we'll be back in September for our live public event. Fingers crossed that all works out. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Brave stories change the world, and you are the story. All right. See you guys.
Thank you.